Shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises to the Most High Power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kadash, Babu Kusha. I give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstones. Peace and greetings to all the Akim out there that's doing the work and pushing out this truth and sincerity and humiliation all across the world, all across the four winds. To you, a salute. This is Brother Yashua Wamba from the GMS Bahamas Camp. Back at you with this truth. Now, I want to do a little lesson on the 7 deadly sins. But I'm going to be focusing on one of them for this particular lesson. Now, you understand that the 7 deadly sins are pride, greed, lust, envy, sloth, wrath or anger, and gluttony. These are mentioned through the Bible, and they are sometimes the cardinal cause of many sins. Meaning, when you commit one, you commit that because of another, and it often leads to another. See? But the one we will be focusing on for this particular lesson is wrath. Right? What is wrath? Book of James, chapter 1 and 20. Let's start at verse 19. Reads, "Wherefore, brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath. Because the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of the Most High." God. Now, what is wrath? Let's turn to Proverbs chapter 6, verse 17. Right? Let's start at verse 16. "These 6 things that the Most High hate, yes, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood." God, hands that shed innocent blood. Wrath. Wrath of man working on the righteousness of the Most High. And just paraphrasing, scripture says, "Who had died being innocent?" So the Most High don't shed innocent blood. See? Now, going let's go to the book of Samuel. 1 Samuel chapter 22. Right? This is about David when David was fleeing Saul. Right? You start at verse 9. Alright? It says, "Then answered Doeg the Edomite, which was set over the servants of Saul, and said, I saw the son of Jesse coming to Nob to Ahimelech, the son of Ahitub." God. Now, Doeg the Edomite saw this in 1 Samuel chapter 21 and 7. What reads, "Now a certain man of the servants of Saul was there that day detained before the Most High, and his name was Doeg, an Edomite, the chiefest of the herdmen that belonged to Saul, that was Saul's servant." Right? And Doeg saw Ahimelech give David bread and Goliath's sword. Right? Now, back in Proverbs chapter 6 and 17, well, that's verse 19. It reads, "A false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren." Doeg's purpose in the 1 Samuel was to sow discord among the brethren. Right? That's why he said what he said when he saw David speaking to Ahimelech. He more or less led Saul to believe that David was plotting against him. Right? So now, let's go to 1 Samuel. Let's finish reading through Samuel chapter 22, right? Verse 10. And he inquired of the Most High for him, and gave him victuals, and gave him the sword of Goliath the Philistines. This Doeg pretty much snitching, right? Then the king sent to call Ahimelech the priest, the son of Ahitub, and all his father's house, the priests that were in Nob, and they came, all of them. The king sent for all of Ahimelech men, right? And Saul said, Hear now, thou son of Ahitub. And he answered, Here I am, my lord. And Saul said unto him, Why have ye conspired against me, thou and the son of Jesse, in that thou hadst given him bread and a sword, and hast inquired of the Most High for him, that he should rise against me to lie in wait at this day? And Saul asking Ahimelech why him and David was plotting against him, right? Now Ahimelech and let Saul know that it wasn't so. See, verse 14, then Ahimelech answered the king and said, And who is so faithful among all thy servants as David, which is the king's son-in-law, and goeth at thy bidding? Ahimelech asked him, Who is more faithful to you than David? Why would David do something like that, right? And goeth at thy bidding, in his honorable in thine house. Verse 15, Did I then begin to inquire of the Most High for him? Be it far from me. Let not the king impute anything unto his servant. Meaning, Ahimelech telling Saul, don't try, put nothing on me. Don't assume that, I did this, I did that. You see? Nor to all the house of my father, for thy servant knew nothing of all this, less or more. He had no idea what was going on. You see? But in Saul's wrath and Saul's fury, Saul wanted to put Ahimelech to death. Verse 16, And the king said, Thou shalt surely die, Ahimelech, thou and all thy father's house. Come, the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of the Most High. Saul was wrathful, so he sought to put Ahimelech to death, right? And now let's read down in verse 17. Let's continue on. And the king said unto the footmen that stood about him, Turn and slay the priests of the Most High. Now let's bear in mind now, the footmen who was around Saul, they were Benjamites. You see? They knew what was going on. But let me bring that out. This 1 Samuel 22:7. Then Saul said unto his servants that stood about him, Hear now, ye Benjamites, will the son of Jesse give every one of you fields and vineyards, and make you all captains of thousands and captains of hundreds? They were Benjamites. And he's saying, in a sense, he could give them more than David could ever offer them. But down what they down with. You see? Continuing verse 17. And the king said unto the footmen that stood about him, Turn and slay the priests of the Most High, because their hand also is with David, and because they knew when he fled, and did not show it to me. But the servants of the king would not put forth their hand to fall upon the priests of the Most High. They ain't down with them, because they ain't down with Doeg doing, they ain't down with what Saul doing. Now verse 18. That's how you know them. Esau them and them Edomites were they wicked boy. And the king said to Doeg, Turn thou and fall upon the priests. And Doeg the Edomite turned, and he fell upon the priests and slew on that day 4,500 persons that did wear a linen ephod. Remember, Esau blasphemous the sword, so all they know how to do is kill, And Esau went on paraphrasing, and he killed off all of them. They killed tens and thousands, men, women, children, Now jumping on to verse 20. This is where it reads, Salakia. Salakia. Yeah. Doeg was wrathful too. And killing all of them. Yeah, that's right there. The wrath of man working on the righteousness of the Most High. So a righteous Edomite, that's a cut to the inverse system right there. But a righteous Edomite, you know such thing as a righteous Edomite, man. Verse 20. And one of the sons of Ahimelech, the son of Ahitub, named Abithar, escaped and fled to David. One survived. And Abithar showed David that Saul had slain the Lord's priest. And David said unto Abithar, I knew it that day, when Doeg the Edomite was there, that he would surely tell Saul. So David knew what was going to happen because that Edomite was there, to sow that discord among the brethren. So even David knew that Edomite, such thing as a righteous Edomite, right? That he would surely tell Saul, I have occasioned the death of all the persons of thy father's house. So now David felt like he was responsible for the death of Abithar's house, of his father's house. So in verse 23, that's when David would tell him it reads here, abide thou with me, fear not, for he that seeketh my life seeketh thy life, but with me thou shalt be safeguarded. David feared no man, David wasn't fearful. That's why he told him to abide with him, And we know Psalms 27:5 reads, for in the time of trouble, the Most High shall hide me in his pavilion. In the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me up upon a rock. The Most High guides and protect us through all troubles, man. He put stains in our inward parts to know what to say or when to say it to get out of trials and tribulation. Just how in 1 Samuel 21:13, when David played crazy, in a sense, when they saw him, he played crazy, he had dribble running down his bed, he's bouncing off the walls and things, and they let him go. If it wasn't for the Most High, he wouldn't thought about to do this and that. But that's just a quick little breakdown as to one of the 7 deadly sins as wrath. You see? But inside the same lesson, that wrath with Doeg, with Saul actually, Saul was envious. So you see how wrath and envy tie into this right here. One cardinal sin, another always follows with it. They go full circle. But that was just a brief little understanding as to what wrath is. But with that, I want to give all praises to the Most High Power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash. Shalom.